prison story is about an inmate that was only in prison for 1 month before he gave up his cheeks.
Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again.
Before we start this story, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people that blessed the Cash App. Shout out to John, shout out to Jonathan, shout out to Karen Sanchez, shout out to Robert, and shout out to Aubrey. Now I want to thank everybody that bought something from my Amazon wish list. Shout out to Jasmine and shout out to Tammy. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Now let's get to the story. So my big homie Terry from Dewey Park came to me. He was like, "Hey Donta, man, I'm going home, baby." I'm like, "What?" He like, "Man, I'm going home. I'm going home." I said, "Look at you, man. When you leaving?" He like, "Man, about another week or two, bruh." I'm like, "Congratulations, man." He like, "But listen, I need to rap with you right quick." I'm like, "What's up?" He like, "Look, my nephew is gonna be in here in the next week or two, but I might not be here. So I need for you to look out for him." I'm like, "Say less, what's his name?" He tell me his name and whatever. He tell me his charge. I'm like, "Okay, bet. I got him. Me and my homies, we'll look out. We'll hold him down." He like, "All right, Donta, now remember, this my blood, man. This my family. Like, this is my sister's son. Like, this real family." I'm like, "I got you, man. I got you." He was like, "And I'm gonna send you about $50 a week to, hold him down to, make sure he good. Cause I already know how you and your homies get down, but I'm gonna make sure y'all good." I'm like, "Man, don't worry about that, man. I got it. I got it." Like, "All right, say less." So we gonna fast forward 3 weeks later. So the big homie Terry like, "All right, D, hey, that's it, man. I'm about this motherfucker, man. I'm out this B." So he's like, "Man, come to the cell, man. You and your homies, and y'all get whatever y'all want. I don't need none of this. I don't need none of it." So we all going through the commissary, and y'all know I got all the noodles and the Pepsis. Cause that's how I got out, right? So we divvying up everything, and they call his name. He like, "All right, man, I'm out, man." So he leave, right? So I'm like, "Damn, man, the big homie Terry gone. I bet, whatever." So about 8 days go by and the doors pop. Boom. Now, this is a Tuesday, and as y'all know, every Tuesday we get brand new inmates. So it was about 4 white guys, 2 Latino guys, and 1 black guy. Now, I'm looking at the dude, I'm like, I wonder, is this Terry nephew? Right? But I was kind of appalled because this dude looked real zesty, like he was from the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? So I already got his name or whatever. So I go up to him. I said, "Hey, your name Lamario?" He was like, "Yeah, how you know me?" I said, "Terry from Dewey Park, your uncle." He said, "Your name Donta?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, okay. My uncle told me about you. He told me that you was going to protect me and hold me down." I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay, bet. Cool, man. Cool. I heard you was a good stand-up guy. You be running things up in here, man. You be running these white boys in here, too." I said, "No, I don't know about that." But he was like, "Man, shoot, man, you a legend out there in them streets, man. My uncle, man, he talk about you so much, bruh." I said, "Yeah, okay." I said, "Well, all right, man, you getting in the cell with me, man." So we get to the cell, and I break it down to him. I'm like, "Listen, this is prison. How you ever did time before?" He like, "No, I ain't never did time." I said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you. How much time you got?" He was like, "Man, they gave me 8 years, man. 4 to 8. I said, "Okay, so if you stay out of trouble, you can get out in 4 years. You can get parole in 4 years." So I said, "All right, man." I said, "Listen, man, you ain't a part of no gang or nothing. He was like, man, hell no, I ain't part of no gang, man. I ain't stupid. I ain't stupid. So I'm looking at him like, well, you gotta be stupid. I ain't say this to him, but what I'm thinking, you gotta be stupid because you in here with us. But anyway, I'm like, all right, listen, stay away from the gangs. Don't gamble. Don't borrow nothing from nobody. Your uncle gonna be sending money in for me to get you commissary and all that. Don't mess with homosexuals up in here. You can talk to them, but make sure one of my homies, and I'm introduce you to everybody, be with you, so that way ain't no rumors get started. He like, whoa, hold on, man. I don't need nobody chaperoning me, man. I can handle myself. I said, listen, man. Now check this out, y'all. Sidebar. I noticed he never interrupt me until I brought up stay away from homosexuals. That's when he interrupted me, right? So I took a mental note of that. So I'm like, I kept giving him the rundown, letting him know how we program up in here, whatever. So he's like, all right, cool, bet, right? So I said, come on, I'm finna introduce you to all the homies. They're on the yard, right? So we go hit the yard, and I'm introducing him to everybody. Now, there was a group of punks over here to the left of us. It was Strawberry, Peaches, Peanut, Reva, Lil Kim. Who else was out there? Oh, Bubblegum was out there too. And they all over here doing the little stuff that they do over here. Now, as I'm introducing him to the homies, he just keep looking over there, right? And I'm like, hey, you good? He like, who is him over there? What they be about? I said, man, that's the boys, man. He was like, the boys? I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, what, they a gang or something? I said, no, man, them dudes, I mean, look at them. He like, oh, okay. I said, hey, you remember when I told you, you can't be, you know what I'm saying? He like, yeah. I said, well, them the guys you stay away from. He was like, oh, okay, but they seem cool. I said, nah, man, they cool, but you can't, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna be with us, you can't be over there. He like, oh, no, my uncle already gave me the rundown. I'm with y'all. I'm running with y'all. I'm like, all right. So he was like, hey, I'm about to go do some laps. So he walked off. Have y'all ever been around y'all friends or family members and y'all can talk without saying anything to each other? Well, damn near all of us was thinking the same thing. This dude got to be gay. And everybody looking at me because they like, big homie Terry said you got to look after him. And by default, we got to too. So Al finally broke the silence. He was like, is dude gay? I said, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I gave him the rundown like what happened earlier when I was giving him the rundown and how he interrupted me when I said, you can't be around, the gay guys, whatever. And they was like, did you see how he kept looking over there like he was infatuated? I said, yeah, man, we just got to keep an eye on him, man, right? Like, all right, man, all right. So the next couple days that went by, everything was cool. He was listening. I was teaching him how to work out, how to program, the whole nine, right? The fourth day came, right? And normally this is how we take showers. I will go in first, and there'd be three guys standing outside the shower, making sure nobody run in on me, right? And then when I get done taking the shower and get dressed, somebody else will go in there, and then I'll be out there with the other two guys, and we'll just keep rotating like that till everybody take their shower, right? Now, this is the rules this should be the standard for all straight men in prison, that when a gay guy go in there, you under no circumstances go in that shower, okay? You got to wait till he come out. You cannot go in there. Now, keep in mind, there's only two stalls in here. one that's north and one that's south. So if two people come in the shower and get in the shower, your ass is damn near gonna be back to back. Okay, so this is why we took single showers. That's why I would go in by myself and the homies would go in by themselves. If nobody could go in there, right? This is where the first incident took place. So everybody taking a shower, right? And I tell him when I got out the shower and got to the cell, I said, "Hey, it's we about to do showers, man. Go down there and get in line or whatever." So he was like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I ain't feeling too good." So I'm like, "You sure you good? Do I need to get a nurse?" He like, "No, man. I'm just not feeling good. I'm just gonna sleep it off." So I'm like, "All right, bet." Right. So I go take my shower. I wait for my homies to take their showers or whatever, and we get dressed, right? He's not there. He's not in the cell. So I wonder, like, man, where is this dude at? I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go hit the yard, right? About 20 minutes go by, and the homicide roll up on me like, "Hey, Donta, man, hey, that dude, Lamario?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He was like, "Look, I don't know if you told him the rules or not, but why he just got out the shower with Peanut?" I said, "What?" He said, "Look, I seen it with my own two eyes. This ain't no hearsay. When I got out, when I was coming in the dorm, Peanut was leaving out the shower, and here Lamario come out the shower." I said, "I told that you can't, man. I'ma holler at him." So homicide like, "Donta, hey, look, man, you already know, man, we can't be." I said, "Look, I'ma holler at him again and let him know," right? So I get up and I head back to the unit. I hit the cell. He's sitting on the bed. I said, "Hey, Lamario, did you get in the shower with Peanut?" He was like, "I mean, I didn't get in the shower with him, but I did get in the shower and he came in there and I washed up, he washed up, and I left out. What's the problem?" I said, "Dog, earlier I told you we was all hitting the showers. And I already told you that's a cardinal sin. You cannot be doing that. You can't be getting in no shower when the homosexual. As soon as he came in there, you should have walked right out of there." He was like, "I still have soap on my body, man. What I supposed to do? Get out with soap on me?" I said, "Hey, man, listen, dog. I know Terry, your uncle, and that's the OG homie, but dog, you can't be doing shit like that." He like, "What? Why y'all so homophobic up in here, man? Y'all act like that. Every gay guy wants y'all. Why y'all tripping like that? Y'all need to stop tripping, man. Y'all act like that y'all." I like, "What?" I said, hey, hold on, partner. Hey, don't be talking to me like that. Who the fuck is you talking to?" He said, "Man, I'm just saying." I said, "Hey, man, listen. Hey, yo, dog, leave the cell. Get up out the cell, man. Go for a walk, man. Go take a hike." So he was like, "Man, all right, man, all right." Now, listen, y'all. I've been in prison and in lockup for so long. You catch dudes' mannerisms. It's certain things, the way dudes say certain things, right, that come off to expose what they are if they trying to hide something. He slipped, y'all. And this is how he slipped and exposed that he was one of them type of dudes. He rolled his neck. In the last few words that came out of his mouth, he had an S on it, right? Like a list. And I said, "Oh, snap. This dude is one of them." So I'm like, damn. This dude is one of them. So I'm like, I need to get ahead of this before the homies find out. They already got suspicions, and damn, this ain't gonna work. Because one of the things, y'all, for those that don't know what type of business I was running in prison, I was running protection schemes, right? Basically, if you was an inmate and you felt like, the gangs was putting pressure on you, or somebody was trying to violate you, or you just needed protection, or you just needed to have somebody to have your back in there, whatever, till you could stand on your own 2 feet, or whatever, you would pay me every week, every 2 weeks, every month, depending on your situation, right? To protect you. And one of the biggest no-nos that we didn't protect them type of guys. You know what I'm talking about? YouTube don't really like me saying, the name, but one of the biggest, okay, I can say this. We really stayed away from protecting people from the LGBTQ community, because it was like, now don't get me wrong, we wasn't homophobic or nothing, but it just came with too many problems, too much drama. I seen where other groups would, would take the money or whatever, or the commissary, to protect these guys, but most of these issues stem from relationships where they trying to get away from their boyfriend, or you know what I'm saying. So I just never really want to get involved with that, right? So now here it is, my OG homie Terry from Dewey Park, his nephew is in here in the cell with me, and I supposed to be holding them down, protecting them, me and the homies, but all along, this dude is actually one of them. And it's already leaking. I mean, it already started leaking out when we was on the yard the first time, and how he was over there eyeballing them, and all the homies kind of looked like, man, what? And now Homicide, seeing him coming out the shower with Peanut, and then I just, heard the way he was talking to me. I'm like, damn, how I'm gonna get out of this, right? Because here's the thing, y'all. I still got so much respect for my OG homie Terry, right? Terry's like an uncle to me out in the streets. And it's like, I'm stuck what they say, stuck between a hard place and a rock or whatever, because my policies and programming goes against what I'm doing right now of protecting this dude. So I'm like, I'm in a dilemma. So I called the homie Al, and I'm like, Al, go get all the homies. We need to have a meeting on the yard in 15 minutes. Right? So Al like, hey, Donta, man, listen, I got to holler at you about something. I'm like, what? He like, hey, man, you think Lamario gay? I said, why? Why you say that? He said, man, bruh, hey, Homicide told me that he seen him come out the shower with Peanut. I said, yeah, I know. This was the meeting is about. So go get the people, man. Let everybody know to be on the yard in 10 minutes, man. So he like, all right. So he went out and, rounding up the crew or whatever, and I done went out there, right? So we over here standing by the water fountain. And they like, what's up, D? What's up? I said, look, y'all. We in a dilemma right now. It's confirmed that Lamario is gay. And I know y'all had y'all suspicions and everything. And then look, y'all. Lamario come walking on the yard, and he go right over there to the punks, right? I said, look at him, y'all. Just look at him. So they looking, they like, hey, man, Donta, I said, listen, this what this meeting about, man. So as we talking, Peaches, Peanut, Lil Kim, Reva, and Lamario is walking towards us, right? So Reva stepped forward and was like, Donta, he with us. He with us. So I'm looking, and Lamario, like, he got his hands crossed or whatever, like with mad attitude, and got his lips poked out. So I'm like, hey, y'all got it. Y'all got it. So Lamario was like, and you can tell my uncle that he need to mind his business. Like when I say y'all, he came completely out the closet. I mean completely out the closet. I'm talking about neck rolling, lips poked out, the whole nine. And you can tell my uncle that he can mind his business. I can handle myself in here. So everybody looking like, what the right? So I was like, all right, look, we all about to go back to the unit. We finna pack them up. So he was like, Lamario was like, I already got all my stuff out. I already moved out. I said, as long as you ain't touch my shit, man, we good. He was like, I ain't touch your shit. But anyway, like I said, you don't have to tell my uncle that he don't need to be looking out for me. I'm a grown B and I can do whatever I want to do. I said, look, say less. You got it. Right? So I'm going to say about 2 weeks ago by y'all, this dude, Lamario, was a full-blown chump. A full-blown chump. This dude altered his clothing, right? Now, there was seamstress up in there. You know, a seamstress is somebody that work on clothes or whatever. They done altered this dude pants to make him skin tight. They done altered his shirt to get him like a hawker top. I know I said that wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about. This dude done put Jolly Ranchers in a bucket and put the coloring all on his lips, on his face, for like mascara or whatever. This dude was a whole turned out chump. Now, from my calculations, he was already like that before he got locked up, right? And now that I think about it, I think this is why the big homie Terry already knew or had suspicions that his nephew was like that. And he just wanted me and the homies to look out for him, even though he know that was against my policies and rules. But hey, I guess when it comes to family, right? Anyway, again, y'all, shout out to John, Jonathan, Karen Sanchez, Robert, and Aubrey for blessing the Cash App. And shout out to Jasmine and Tammy for looking out for me in my Amazon wish list cart. Till next time, y'all, take care. If you enjoyed this story time, make sure you leave me a tip. Also, if you forgot to hit the like button, make sure y'all smash that like button and share this video and hype the video. Make sure y'all check out my Amazon wish list. I got some items in there that I need purchased. So y'all make sure y'all look out for y'all big partner. If you can't get enough of these stories, I made another channel. I'm going to have that link pinned at the top of the comment section too and in the description. Until next time, take care.